One of the most damaging ideas many people with ADHD absorb is that progress only comes from pushing harder. When things fall apart, the instinct is often to double down, to try to be more disciplined, more consistent, more productive. But for ADHD brains, pushing is usually what leads to burnout in the first place. If you've ever noticed a repeating cycle of effort, collapse, recovery, and effort again, this isn't a personal failure. It's a pacing problem, not a motivation problem. ADHD nervous systems don't regulate energy the same way neurotypical systems do. Energy isn't steady or predictable. It comes in waves. Some days you feel capable, focused, and driven. Other days, even small tasks feel heavy. When you treat these fluctuations as something to overcome instead of something to respect, you end up fighting your own capacity. That fight drains energy faster than the work itself. Pushing works in the short term. It often looks like productivity, especially at the beginning. You might hyper-focus, overperform, or make rapid progress. But pushing relies on adrenaline, urgency, and pressure, not sustainable energy. Over time, this depletes executive function, emotional regulation, and motivation. The crash that follows isn't laziness. It's recovery your system didn't get earlier. Many people with ADHD don't realize they're pushing because pushing feels normal. It often develops as a coping strategy. When you've been told your whole life that you're not doing enough, pushing feels like the only way to prove your worth. You learn to ignore exhaustion, override discomfort, and push past limits. The problem is that limits still exist, even if you ignore them. Burnout is what happens when limits are crossed repeatedly. Pacing is different. Pacing means aligning effort with capacity instead of expectations. It means recognizing that energy fluctuates and planning accordingly. This doesn't mean doing less forever. It means doing things in a way that doesn't require constant recovery. Pacing is about sustainability, not speed. One reason pacing is hard with ADHD is that capacity is hard to predict. You might wake up feeling capable and plan a full day, only to lose energy unexpectedly. When plans fall apart, shame often follows. That shame leads to more pushing the next time, restarting the cycle. Pacing requires flexibility and permission to adjust without self-punishment. Another challenge is that ADHD brains often equate rest with failure. Rest can feel uncomfortable or undeserved, especially if you've internalized the belief that productivity equals value. This makes pacing emotionally difficult. Slowing down can trigger guilt or fear of falling behind. But pacing isn't about stopping. It's about distributing effort in a way your system can tolerate. Burnout repeats when recovery is incomplete. Taking time off without changing how you operate doesn't prevent future burnout. You might rest, feel better briefly, and then return to the same patterns. Without pacing, the cycle continues. True recovery involves changing the relationship you have with effort. ADHD pacing starts with awareness. Noticing early signs of overload allows you to adjust before burnout hits. These signs might include irritability, mental fog, physical tension, or emotional sensitivity. Learning to respond to these signals, instead of ignoring them, is a skill. It requires listening to your body, even when your mind wants to push. Another key part of pacing is redefining productivity. Productivity doesn't have to mean constant output. It can mean maintaining stability, preventing overload, or protecting energy for what matters most. On some days, pacing might mean doing one important thing instead of 10 small ones. That's not underperforming. That's prioritizing capacity. ADHD pacing also involves designing systems that absorb fluctuations. This might mean building buffer time, avoiding back-to-back commitments, or planning for low-energy days in advance. Systems that assume constant energy are fragile. Systems that expect variability are resilient. It's also important to examine where pressure comes from. Some pressure is external, but much of it is internal. Unrealistic self-expectations often drive pushing. Questioning those expectations can reduce strain. Ask yourself where the standard came from and whether it actually fits your brain. Letting go of someone else's definition of success creates space for pacing. Pacing doesn't mean avoiding challenges, it means approaching them with support. ADHD brains can handle hard things when emotional safety and capacity are present. The goal is not comfort at all times, but sustainability over time. Pushing sacrifices the future for the present. Pacing protects both. One fear many people have is that without pushing, nothing will get done. This fear is understandable, especially if pushing has been your main strategy. But pacing doesn't remove accountability. It changes how accountability feels. Instead of fear-driven urgency, pacing uses clarity, prioritization, and compassion. These support consistent engagement. Another benefit of pacing is improved self-trust. When you stop making promises your system can't keep, reliability increases. Even small follow-through builds confidence. Over time, you learn what your capacity actually is, not what you wish it were. That honesty strengthens your relationship with yourself. Pacing also improves emotional regulation. When effort aligns with capacity, emotions feel less volatile. You're less likely to swing between overdrive and shutdown. Stability returns gradually. This doesn't eliminate challenges, but it reduces extremes. It's important to note that pacing isn't a one-time decision. It's an ongoing practice. Capacity changes with stress, health, environment, and life events. Pacing requires regular check-ins and adjustments. This flexibility is a strength, not a weakness. One of the most powerful shifts is letting go of urgency as a default state. ADHD brains often rely on urgency to function, but urgency is stressful. Pacing reduces reliance on urgency by creating safer ways to engage. When urgency decreases, burnout risk decreases too. Pacing also allows for enjoyment. When you're not constantly pushing, there's space for curiosity, creativity, and rest without guilt. These experiences replenish energy and make engagement feel worthwhile again. Life becomes more than recovery between efforts. Understanding pacing reframes past burnout. Instead of seeing burnout as failure, you can see it as feedback. Your system was telling you something important. Listening now prevents repetition. This perspective reduces fear of burnout and increases confidence in managing energy. Inside Dopaloop Pro, we focus heavily on pacing because it's one of the most important skills for long-term ADHD well-being. We help you design systems that respect your limits without limiting your potential. If you want ADHD-friendly tools that support sustainable progress, instead of constant recovery, you'll find the link in the description.